Origins Gallery in lovely Mount Pleasant, DC. And I've been working on a book for the last couple years, and it came out. And I thought it would be nice to have a photo exhibit to go along with the book. So these are my photos on the walls. They range from 1982 to 1997. I sort of discovered punk rock and photography at the same time. I was in high school. I came up with older brothers and sisters, so I had a lot of music from the 60s. And this was just the 80s. It was like 20 years before. And some of the bands were still around. And I would listen to, you know, Bob Dylan and the Beatles and the Stones and all this stuff from the records I had in the house. My end point was like hearing British and like New York bands a little after the fact, like in the early 80s, but the Stranglers, the Ramones and stuff like that. I didn't see those bands. I just heard them. It was the first music I heard that was different than just what was on the radio. And that led me to go to the record store and say, what kind of punk rock stuff do you have? And to their credit, the old heads at the record store told me that there's local punk rock and gave me names like Minor Threat, took a photography class, got lent Pentax K1000 and a couple of rolls of Tri-X film and was told to go out and photograph some stuff. You know, the energy and the music and the spectacle, I just had to photograph this. So then I started going to a bunch of shows, and I really just started photographing it. And these two loves just came together, and I really never stopped. So this might have been one of the first shows I photographed. There was a windowsill here in the back of the 930 Club what I was standing in. So I think I was still learning how to shoot punk rock shows, so getting a little higher and out of the way, I guess I felt a little safer. But it was a bird's eye view of everything going on. And I didn't know any of these people yet, but you know, there's Alec Mackay and Chris Bald and Brendan Canty and John Stabb is back there. So yeah, I ended up becoming friends with a lot of these people. It started with that one in October of '82. And that was probably, I pinpointed that as pretty close, or if not the first show I ever shot.
And then you developed them in school? Or?
Yeah, my school had a dark room, and I developed them there. All the pictures in this show are just from 82 to 97, and they're all on film, and they're all...
But that's a pretty long stretch. And why was the cutoff 97?
Because it's the last picture, one of the last ones I wanted to include that before I went digital, because I think I got my first digital camera in '98, and then they weren't that good, so I kind of shot digital a little bit, but most things that mattered were still on film. I had my own darkroom, of course, for many, many years, until digital came around, and then I shut it down, but now I've reopened it again, so everything comes around. I got a darkroom now again. And then I wanted a K1000, the camera that I started with, just for not just nostalgia's sake. I wanted one not to just put on the shelf, but to shoot with again. I bought some other wacky cameras, like this Soviet era little camera that I've had a roll in it for a while, and I don't even know what it'll look like, but that's part of the fun. shoot some film and you develop it, and then you make a contact sheet. You know, you look at the contact sheet and it's 1-to-1, so they're just little small images. And you see some you like and you circle 2 or 3 and then you print those. And then, you know, you put them in the file cabinet. But when I scanned everything and saw it bigger on a computer screen, I found tons of stuff I didn't even know I had, you know, and pictures that I didn't even give a second look now that they were bigger. There was one of Amy Pickering is on stage with them singing Suggestion, and I don't know, it was kind of real wide and you could see the whole audience and stuff, and I guess nothing really small jumped out at me, but when I saw it big, there was just geese in the air this way and Ian's, you know, over here, and some guy is like charging into the frame to jump off the stage, and it was like, wow, like I never even gave this a second thought, and a couple people, including Ian and my publisher, was, you know, we're just like, wow, where'd this picture come from? People have been suggesting I do a book for like decades, and I've had my work in a lot of other books, like the kind of famous Banned in DC book that came out at the time and is still in print, and Spoke, which was an offshoot from the movie I shot, Salad Days, kind of a companion piece to the movie. You know, before I discovered punk rock, I'd go to the, you know, Capitol Center, which is an arena that used to be an arena here in the DC area, and I'd see like Springsteen and he'd be this big and I'd be way far away, and I thought that's what a concert was. But I go to see punk rock and the guy I came with, you know, my friend is like on the stage, I'm on the stage, you know, everyone's singing along with Ian, the mic is gone, who knows where it is, and it made me realize that music can be, you can participate in a live show. You don't have to just sit in your seat. And it's participatory and it's a community thing, and it was just a completely different experience. And this picture always shows me like the joy of a good punk rock show.